word, y'all! Just watch One Piece and you'll see what's wrong with Fairy Tail. That message made me really fucking mad. I'm the biggest One Piece fan in the fucking world. What kind of malnourished, like, Asian kid wrote that? Not me, probably some guy in the Philippines. I have been lying to you guys, okay? And in 2026, my New Year's resolution was to be more honest. One Piece was not my first anime. I know, throw your tomato, slap my ass, and put your finger around it. The truth is, One Piece is not the anime that really got me into anime. The anime series that got me into anime was actually Fairy Tail. It was my favorite series back then when I was 10, and it still holds a very special place near and dear to my heart. And as a side note, Fairy Tail was actually an anime that was recommended to me by my crush from 1st to 6th grade. So if it weren't for her, I'll probably not be making this video right now. I just, watched it to make her happy, to make her like me. So wherever you are, shout out to you. Last I heard, she was lesbian. But my biggest regret ever was that after I finished Fairy Tail, I immediately went to the internet to see if people like it. And then boom, the demons of Babylon have entered the gates and disguised yourself as the angel of truth. The absolute dread in my face when I saw all these people just crucifying my favorite series. Even back in 2018, popular anime YouTubers used to crucify people for saying they like Fairy Tail. People used to go out of their way to make sure Fairy Tail is down in the earth and it's the worst anime to ever exist. People want to, like, oh, yo, Fairy Tail is the worst series ever made. Oh shit, Fairy Tail, I don't want to touch that. Everyone was acting like Fairy Tail was the one, who personally grabbed your dog and like SummerSlam it into like, Hell in a Cell match or something like that, and euthanized the wrong sex change operation patient. And right there and there, I had a realization, okay? Fairy Tail was the laughing stock of the anime community. I went to the Amino app of anime, and I was like, oh, Fairy Tail's my favorite anime of all time. Let's go. I like boobies. The comments were like, kid, get the fuck out of here, bro. Because I probably had like misspellings, or like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I was like, what? I felt like I was in the wrong for liking Fairy Tail, and because I like it. And I'm sure a lot of fans feel the same way. But now that I grew up, I'm stronger, I'm flexible more, I realize that people have different tastes. Tastes are subjective. If you don't like Fairy Tail because of this and that, that's perfectly okay. Nowadays, Fairy Tail isn't even hated because it's bad. It's hated because it's too embarrassing to like. I'm not saying Fairy Tail is perfect or is this masterpiece, okay? What I'm saying is the criticism surrounding it has either been lazy, exaggerated, or like severely out of context. The internet lied to you about Fairy Tail. And in today's video, I'm gonna be exposing those false narratives, okay? Subscribe, like, support small creators like me, and fuck Jack. One of the biggest criticism people used to make online was that Fairy Tail has way too much redeemed characters. The common belief from what I've seen online is that almost all of Fairy Tail's redeemed villains are either forgiven way too easily, or there's too much of like redeemed characters out there, which in turn makes their characters one-dimensional, which in then turns their characters lackluster, which then makes the Fairy Tail, the series, a bad anime. And let me stop you right there, big boy, before you get any big ideas. Does Fairy Tail have way too many redeemed villains? Yes! You can look at any arc and there's probably one or two redeemed villains out there waiting to be forgiven by our main characters. Are there bad examples of bad redemption arcs in Fairy Tail? Absolutely, dude! But the fact that this complaint of like, oh, too many redeemed characters, but it happens every anime arc. Like it ever happens every anime. Like come on, guys. But the argument people are saying that the redeemed characters lack no depth and they're lackluster and they're one-dimensional, all this stuff. That the fact is this, okay? 80% of Fairy Tail's redeemed villains are one of Fairy Tail's best characters, and I stand by that. Okay, I put my foot down. Take Godzilla for example, practically the poster boy for why this argument exists. Okay, how did they forgive this dude who literally crucified 3 of their guildmates and wrecked the guild? And every time they use Godzilla as an example, I practically lose all hope in my brain cell. Okay, let me tell you one. Let me tell you one thing. These people do not watch this show, and their opinions should not matter. Okay, because Fairy Tail did not forgive Godzilla. That's the whole point. every time they use Godjill for this example of like, oh, why he nailed the girl, he nailed to a tree. Because let me take you back, okay? Godjill first joined the guild, he was not welcomed in open arms, okay? Shadowgear basically ambushes him, beats the living shit out of him, then Luxus joins in and strikes him down with a little lightning. And what did Godjill do? Absolutely nothing. He just takes it, he doesn't whine, he doesn't tell the other guildmate, he doesn't tell Makarov what had happened. Why? Because the whole point of him joining isn't for him to be forgiven, isn't for him to be, to fight back and stuff, it's for him to change and to be accepted. So by him not fighting back, it shows to him, it shows to other people that, he wants to change. Makarov outright says that his sins are unforgivable and they will never forget that. But through sheer actions, Godjill, you have the potential to show the people that you wrong, that you are not that person anymore. You're not that guy, pal. You are not that guy. And that's done through Godjill's actions. He has to work to be accepted, and that's shown throughout many different arcs. And we can see Godjill slowly gaining the trust from his other former guildmates. And nothing shows that better than his relationship with Levi. Levi, being the character who was the most affected by Godjill's evil actions, end up being Godjill's biggest supporter, shows to Godjill, shows to us that he can be accepted after what he's done. Yet Godjill never lets himself off the hook. Godjill had persistent guilt throughout the entire show, always trying to prove to himself, to the guild, that he has changed. And that's shown to us by his selfless acts. He took a lightning attack from Luxus to protect Levi. He protected Levi from Grimoire Heart. He protected Fairtail from Raventail. He protected Fairtail from Tartaros. The fight versus Bloodman during the final arc clearly shows this. Even after everything he done for Fairtail, with everyone already accepted him, he still never forgave himself for doing that. But with his action, he changed and everyone accepts him. And it's not just Godjill who went through these similar arcs. Jalal went through it, Aloxus went through it. There's so many characters who went through similar arcs, and some fans or some people still don't understand why. Before we move on, once again, subscribe, support small creators. We're so close to hitting 1K subscribers. And the question of the day is, why do you think Fairtail is so hated? Because I really think some of the points against it are out of context or extremely exaggerated. It has come to the point where you just hate on it to make other shows better. But what do you think? Drop it down in the comments below. I read everything. Thank you guys. Now that we killed the redemption argument, let's talk about the next bad criticism the show gets, that Fairtail has no character growth whatsoever. The narrative that Fairtail has no character growth because the stakes aren't high enough, or because each and every fight ends with the power of friendship, is just straight out wrong. And I'm just flabbergasted, I'm just tired of these people. Like, I might shoot a brother down. And some of the prime target for this narrative is Lucy Heartfilia. A lot of people accuse Lucy for being there just for fan service. They say she has no depth, she just has beautiful boobs, a beautiful ass, beautiful thighs, beautiful armpits, and a cute face, and nice hair, nice feet, nice socks, nice clothes, nice arms. All that. Firstly, I'll be the first one to admit, and the last one, that Lucy does lose her clothes a lot. More times than I can count. Maybe like 2,560. But reducing her entire character because she's fan service is just crazy, okay? Every anime has fan service, okay? Some more than others. But you need to understand, you guys need to understand Lucy's character growth throughout the series, because she's not just boobies, okay? Big beautiful boobies, bro. Bazungas. Lucy was born in a rich family where her mother passed away when she was young, leaving her with her dad, who neglected her for years. She was practically invisible for her entire childhood, and throughout the show, she's always trying to look for that said connection with other people. And that's shown both ways with her personality and the way she uses magic. I mean, her fighting style is basically summoning people to help her fight off the evil bad guy. Her living an absent life from the connection she wanted is what made Fairtail so life-changing for her. She was drawn in by Fairy Tail's reputation as a place for adventure and friendship. It's subtle, it's emotional, it hits like a truck when you actually notice it. But like, she never wants anyone to have the same experience she did when she was young. She gives out the same hand to others that she didn't receive back then. Because that's who she is. She's a people person. She's a person pleaser. She's a people. Take a look at her fight versus Angel versus the Orasian says. Lucy wins that fight because she treated her spirits as equals, not tools like Angel. It's her empathy that seals the deal. Yes, she is weak, but the Fairy Tail Guild needs Lucy. And nothing explains that better than her scene in Tartarus. Let me tell you right now, when I was watching this when I was 10, the goosebumps I had when watching that scene. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Euphoria. Instant euphoria. She had to sacrifice Aquarius, her most beloved friend, to save everyone. All her friends. If you think about it for a second, Lucy only had celestial spirits as a bond throughout her entire childhood. Aquarius was the only one there for her. Celestial spirits. They're not even real person. Her having to sacrifice the relationship just to save her friends is completely heartbreaking because she couldn't do anything else. She was the only one who escaped the freezing attack. Failing now means guild annihilation. Aquarius even said if you don't break the key right now, you would lose everybody. So stop being a pushover and stop crying and take action. Take responsibility. Because when it's her time to save everybody, she steps up. Who kept track of where the other guild members are? It's Lucy. Who outsmarted Seraph by rewriting E&D book? It's all Lucy. Because she is the heart and soul of the Fairy Tail Guild. Because her character is someone who doesn't want to lose that bond she has with other characters. And not to say Lucy relies on other people every single time, because Lucy developed her magic so that she can fight alongside her celestial spirits to become stronger. So her being seen in the anime community as someone who is just sexualized throughout the entire show with no character personality whatsoever is just straight up false, okay? And it is just not her. There's also other characters who went through similar arcs, okay? Wendy goes from a shy little girl to one of Fairy Tail's combat fighters. Gray chooses friendship over vengeance. Urza confronts her vulnerability head on. All these characters make that series as it is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to be mad about Fairy Tail, but this is not it, okay? How am I gonna do it? I'm gonna deal with this, bro. How am I gonna deal with this? The power of friendship, okay? Everybody's favorite criticism. Surely there's no way I can defend the Fairy Tail's friendship scenes, right? If I had a nickel for every time the power of friendship argument gets thrown around, I could give $1 to every person on earth. Is power of friendship present in Fairy Tail? Yes. Is the power of friendship in the room with us? Yes. My god, bro. Do you see what this is? This is the Dogman series and the Diary of the Wimpy Kid series. And I'm more educated. I have more reading comprehension than you guys. Somehow people forget that Fairy Tail's magic system is emotion, okay? It's based on emotion. Emotion means power. Emotion means more magic. So yes, thinking about your friends in the middle of a fight wins you that fight. It's corny. Yes, it's the power of friendship. Because Fairy Tail is a show that highlights friendship every single arc. Because that's what it all comes down to. And it's shown through the magic system of Fairy Tail, where the stronger your emotions are, the stronger your magic is. And we seem to have to forgotten that it happens every single time. Emotion means power, okay? Every single time in anime. Please look at any other anime, it always happens. Instead of it being lead up to like interpretation, Fairy Tail embraces that, okay? It is power of friendship. It is. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it, guys? What's wrong with it? Because if you really take a look at it, it's not just, oh, it's just power of friendship, or it's just like that. This is the show. This is what the meaning of Fairy Tail is. But again, even if I tell you that, would it change anything? Because yes, at the end of the day, everything sounds like an asshole. Does knowing all this change anything about the use of power of friendship throughout the show? Well, I hope so, okay? Because yes, it all boils down to it. It all boils. If you have a problem with the power of friendship, that's perfectly fine. At least I got to tell you that Fairy Tail is all about family, and that's how people gain their emotions, okay? That's how people gain their power. At least I got to tell you that, and you disagree with me. It's okay. The issue is that people exaggerate that Fairy Tail is just a series that where you just think about family, you think about friends, and then you win without knowing the context and like the theme of the show. That's like the biggest things I get mad about. Like I said, I'm not saying Fairy Tail is free from criticism. There's plenty of things I dislike about Fairy Tail, okay? I'm not blind. The villains, they're not memorable. Natsu is a generic MC. I can agree with that. Mashima seemed to forget everything he learned about redeeming villains throughout the recent arcs. I don't know what he's doing right now. These are valid criticism I can understand. The main reason I really wanted to make this video is that like it's just like a message from me to the future to the past, okay? Like when I saw the internet hating on Fairy Tail, I felt really bad about myself. I was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't like Fairy Tail. Maybe I'll say like Fairy Tail is trash as well. But I like there's always some place in my heart I was like, why do I gotta this is me, I like Fairy Tail, so what? Like, so what, motherfucker? Just watch One Piece and you'll see what's wrong with Fairy Tail. That message made me really fucking mad. I'm the biggest One Piece fan in the fucking world. What kind of malnourished, like, Asian kid wrote that? Not me. Probably some guy in the Philippines. Some kid in the Philippines begging for money. That's probably what it is. At the end of the day, will Fairy Tail get the respect it deserves? Probably not. Subscribe, like, support small creators like me. I love you guys. Real one say back.